Welcome everyone to today's Power Hour live stream. Today is April 7th. Hope all is well. You guys see my screen? Yeah, you should see it. Yeah, okay. All right. Can everybody hear me and see my screen okay? Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Sorry, I still getting used to the new tools. I had to unmute myself. Didn't realize. All right, welcome everyone. So we got S&P down 36, NASDAQ down 50, Russell down 18, Dow down 510. Gold is down a little over 1.5%. Silver is up 2%. Notes and bonds are red. 10-year yield bouncing back after sliding last week up over 3.5%, back up to 4.1 plus. Oil down 1.5%. Natty gas down 5. All the grains look like they finished green. Euro and the pound are red. Pound is down over 1%. Bitcoin down over 6.5%. And the VIX is up 6. But obviously, that is not the full story. Had a pretty wild morning. You know, I traded through 2008, traded through COVID. And what we didn't have during those periods was fake news reports on social media as prevalent as we see today. So if you were trading earlier this morning, you saw that the market shot up, a 200-point move on one 5-minute bar in the SPX. It was crazy. And that was due to a report coming out that tariffs were going to be paused for 90 days. That ended up being a false report, and so the market reversed back down. And now price has basically been swinging, I should say, in between that 200.5 5-minute range from that false news announcement. So, interesting stuff. So, I did not do any delta neutral trades today. The only thing I've done is day trade. And my day trades have not ended up well. I'm down about 5,800 as we speak. I got I'll let Chad talk and then I'll kind of go over what I did on day trades. But yeah, so that's all I've done today is day trades. No 1 DTE, nothing except for a handful of day trades. Chad, did you take any trades today?
No, and that's same thing with what you just said, that this market is so fragile that a fake news this morning, I just wanted no part of that today. Something like that can happen, right? That's a pretty choppy price action, but yeah, it's just starving for news on tariffs. Just didn't want to take any risk on that. Just felt like I sit on the sidelines. And also the TLC process was not created. At least the management part of it was not created with the premium that we have now. And so I don't want to adjust on the fly like that with my entries and my OCO orders and those types of things. So.
Yeah, I saw some, just kind of scanned through your channel, looked like some, and the Zero DTE chat channel looked like some people were hitting some profit targets, saw a couple stop outs too. How did you guys do overall, those of you who were brave enough to sell some premium today?
Yeah, I mean, the price action looked good for it. That will work out. But, I did all my investigating on process through paper trading, so I felt like I'm in a situation here this morning that was like the longs being so different. I didn't want to practice real money. So I was like, hey, there's nothing wrong with sitting out. You know, yeah, you make people make book profits. That's great for them. I just wasn't going to put my risk on it. So I didn't consider like, well, that's just day trading, but I've never really been good at that throughout the day like you have. So it's been pretty muted for me today.
Yeah, I mean, SPX 50-point swings are like 5-point swings normally.
I mean, don't you feel like it's just the market's just starving for some news?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean and so I anticipated coming in. I was like, okay, we flushed, and we had that huge bounce, kind of early morning, and I was like, if any kind of news comes out that is going to lessen the tariff situation, this market is going to rip. And sure enough, that happened. So part of my issue with my day trades, and this is just my issue, is I was in GME, I caught that, and then we had that pullback, and I tried to get in something else, and so I got a small winner on GME. Well, it was $814, decent winner on the way up, but some of those other stocks just really ripped. So I think looking back in retrospect, I was looking at it from a perspective of, man, I missed out on that big rip, and I thought, I kind of thought I was going to continue. We're going to have a pretty decent trend day up today. And then it all fell apart. And then, when it started to pull back, I tried to get into Meta. And so I took a loss. So then I kind of felt like, okay, I missed out on the big run up. And then I got double hit on the fall, when it completely fell apart. And so I was not in a good mental frame of mind trading for the next hour or so. I should have stepped away, obviously in hindsight, but ended up booking a nice profit in Apple. So let me just put that up here. So Apple was really acting a lot weaker than the S&P and the NASDAQ. And so when it bounced up to previous or pre-market lows right here, I took a short. And so I caught that move down there, but I had some pretty significant size on, and I scaled it. So that was about a $2,500 winner. If it would have cracked lower, which is what I was really waiting for, it would have been a big winner. And so then I got a little too big, a lot too big, I should say, and I was doing SPY 0 DTE options. And I was, so I was kind of waiting. It was kind of chopping around. And then we had this little spike right here at noon. And it immediately got sold off. And it looked like, we had tested trying to kind of break to, through these recent lows. So I thought, oh yeah, that was a fake out to the upside. I'm going to get short. And I did it with size. And of course, we did not go lower. We went higher, and so I ended up bailing once my line in the sand was yesterday's low. So I ended up bailing above that. But I had pretty decent size with 0 DTE, so ended up taking a good loss on that one, over 7K on that trade. So I'm down about 5,800 as we speak on my day trades. But that's. I had last month I had a couple 50K days, and it was based on sizing up on conviction of a trade like that. So, it happens. They don't always work. I was able to, if it would have worked out, could have been 2 or 3 times my loss. So that's kind of how I look at it. So, unfortunately, just took an L and got to move on with that today. Talk about what?
It's like volatility, like when you get, when you're day trading like SPY, and there's like a VIX spike up, any type of vol crush is just going to really hurt that, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially with zero
Yeah, so
DTE.
like, yeah, so like that's where I've always struggled and been like, I really hesitate to jump in any zero DTE SPY to try to day trade it because of, like this morning you had this spike up in volatility and then it came back down and it came back up. I mean, do you take that into consideration when you're, or is it just all price action?
Well, it's all price. I mean, it's all price action, and then I position size based on that risk. And so I'll only do zero DTE if I have a conviction or perception, I should say, that it's going to be a pretty quick move, like this one here. I loved this setup for short because I was just it was kind of chopping around. I was like, this day is going to be full of fake outs, and I thought, okay, there it is. It kind of pushed above these two recent highs, or at least this one, and then immediately reversed back. I think there was some kind of headline, and so I was, and we would kind of come down and tested this area a couple times, and so I was just like, this is a good setup, which I still think is, which a lot of times will work, but then obviously it didn't. And so because I was in zero DTE, not only did the bounce work against me, but also the vol crush, and so that's why the loss was what it was. But I also position sized with being okay with that kind of loss too. So it just it just like
Do you
anything.
like think about going to like one or two DTE with that?
Yeah, in fact, I that's what I did on one other one. I was like, I with SPY or SPX, you can go to one or two DTE. I shouldn't have. I was like, I was pretty sure this was going to the go to lows of day. So maybe a little blinded by my perception.
Well, it's definitely good. You see that spike automatically pulls it back. I would bet on that too.
By the way, these little wicks are fake. I was watching price action when these happened, and these just kind of appeared. I don't know if you guys have those on your SPY chart.
Looks like Trump's live.
Trump Daddy's on the mic.
Yeah, he's taking questions about China.
China. Yeah, Watson, you're right. I certainly could have done SPX. I did SPY. I mean, based on the size I did, I certainly could have done SPX. I had been doing SPY just because I liked having a little bit higher number of contracts so I could scale out more, I guess, more times. But yeah, SPX would, in this case for sure, probably could have been a little bit more efficient. Could have taken my loss a little more efficiently. Yeah, so I thought, oh yeah, we got him fooled this time. Well, actually, I got fooled. It was kind of like the double, triple reverse Greg Louganis backflip. No, I'm not. I'm not really interested in any delta neutral today, Kelvin.
No, me either. I just not comfortable with it with the price action today or this morning. If I use the bell, I'm sure it's just again starving for some type of information. Anything little comes up,
Make missiles, nobody knows that, but they make missiles.
Oh,
Trump's
Trump's with Netanyahu.
but they've been very badly damaged.
yeah, he's got
Nobody
lots
else
of
was
big
able to do that.
others
Others
have
people
already
are
discussed it.
Yes, sir. It's been a bad 3 weeks for the weekends. It's got to get worse. We have seen it get worse, whether it's underground cities, everything, bunkers, troops in the open, airplanes, assets. We are not going to let
Yeah, I was modeling some trades out earlier, and I was trying to, get really wide, but also be in a position size to where I would not use a stop. And I consider doing one that I was just going to kind of hold and really, I would just have kind of a max loss, but then, of course, then you have the risk of, a quick move like we had this morning, and you just get your face ripped off. So I just, and so it was when price was right around 5,000 earlier and kind of bouncing around there. And I was like, okay, I've got, let's see, my risk would be about 100 points up or down. And I was just like, the SPX is making 50-point moves like it's nothing. That's just, in my opinion, I just didn't like it. So just didn't do anything. Yeah, this current bar from low to high is 35 points. And we still have 2.5 minutes left on it.
I did try to do some tickle me Elmo paper trades just to practice. But the problem I was having was when I would try to put them on, by the time I chose the strikes, tried to put them on, I couldn't get filled. Like, the price had already decayed.
Lost my screen, huh?
Yeah, I have the meet today.
How's that? Is it back?
Yep.
Huh. All right, so we got a little bounce coming in. S&P trying to get green. NASDAQ is back in the green. The Dow is still down about 1/3%. Dow down about 0.75%. Russell down about a little less than half. Yeah, just a normal 50-point bar. As far as individual stocks go, well, from a sector standpoint, SMH is leading the way. It's up 2.5%. XLK Technology is a little bit stronger than the NASDAQ, up a little over 0.5%. Regional banks are green. Financials were green. They're about flat now. Everything else is red. Chinese stocks getting hit the worst. Hit the most. As far as some other individual stocks go, IONQ, it's up 11%. SMCI has been strong all day. It's up almost 11. A lot of the chips are up. AVGO, PLTR, Bank of America's up, still up almost 4%.
Did you get in that SMCI this morning? The big white bar?
No.
Yeah, I did.
No, I got in.
Looked like a good setup at the time. Everything was pushing.
Oh yeah, I didn't take a volume. Oh, actually, no, I did. GME was a volume runner. Yeah, I took GME.
SMCI looked good.
I think by the time I saw it, things started coming down kind of hot and heavy, so I just paused. And I Yeah, so GME, yeah, I got in when it pulled back to Friday's high, and it had a volume bar. So I caught that leg up, and that was all she wrote.
Yeah, SNCI pulled back to like, it was like right at the low.
So here's the volume bar. I think you got in.
I got in on the first pullback.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just looking at other things. Now I remember I was looking at other things, and they started to come down pretty quick. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll wait, see if we get a little bit lower, and then things started getting nasty, so I just passed. Oh, I did get in Meta around that same time, though. Actually, it was probably about 20 minutes or so later. I think I let it chop around unchanged. But anyway. Oh, yeah. The closing bell show. Like, yeah, nothing changed in the S&P today. Ended unchanged. So Bitcoin is down, but some of the Bitcoin crypto stocks, well, coin is barely red. I guess MSTR is down 6%. Robinhood's up 3%. GameStop is where's GME now? Yeah, GameStop's up 3.5%. Just a tough little market to trade right now. Oh yeah, discount. Markets in turmoil. Love that headline. Love that teaser. IWM has been a little weaker. It was green. It got green. It got pretty green on that big morning push, and then tried a couple more times to dip into the green. But it's really been more on the red side for sure. Well, Dow's been the weakest, but it's definitely been weaker than the Nasdaq and S&P most of the day.
Blackstone?
I have not.
BX.
Yeah, they're a little wide. Over $1, or a little less than $1 at the money. Which would be fine if the stock was like a $300 or $400 stock, but it's a little wide for 120. Blackstone, is that the grill company? Or is that a financial? What is that? Oh, yeah, the private equity. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like is Blackstone the grill company? Are they public? Yeah, yeah. Well, there's Blackstone.
You are or aren't?
I am.
Oh, yeah. It's down almost 30% year to date. Price shares on it. NavigationTrading Team. Sorry, asset manager.
Yeah, we got some earnings coming up. Let's see.
Yeah, earnings will be interesting.
Next week.
CEOs, will they be lowering the bar?
Some of them already have. I've heard. Kind of.
To me, that wouldn't necessarily be good.
They've kind of come out and front run their earnings announcement by kind of lowering expectations already. I can't remember. I've heard a couple of them come out and say that. All right, a little dip coming in. S&P could not stay green. NASDAQ back in the red as well. Russell down 1.5%, just like that. Hey, Chad, say something. I just switched over to some headphones. Yeah, okay, good. Yep, good. All right, so we got 15 minutes to go. 5 minutes till MOC. we talked about it. Never followed through on that, did we? Yeah, we'll make that happen. I was sick for like 2 weeks, and so I got out of the routine. I was doing them every week there for first part of the year, and then I kind of got out of it. So I'm going to get back into that. But yeah, I like that idea, People's Man. And Chad, yes, we'll get you on there. Everything kind of curling over, Bitcoin rolling over a little bit. Get you. Oh, nice. Not yet, but it's we did beans last year, so hopefully it'll stir up some beans for him to come over and chew on too. I don't know. Are these funds still bailing? Is there still going to be big outflows? Could be. He booked like 5 after MOC on Friday. One minute till MOC. How many days like this, like today, have there been in the last 180 days? None. Yeah, I mean, if you just look at a daily chart, you can see this is a day like no other. All right, MOC incoming here in a few seconds. $2.4 billion sell side. See if 2.4 sell can move anything here. Tiny little reaction lower. There were days like this during COVID and 2008 for sure. Those would be the ones that stand out. I don't know about the 2022 self. I don't think there's anything quite like this. Yeah, that action this morning, like I was saying when we started here, we didn't have the false news situations as much, I don't remember anyway. This instantaneous social media news reporting is a little bit different these days. I mean, even then, I guess during COVID, It was yeah. Yeah. Or a new virus or a new strand. Yeah. For day trading, sometimes it's fine because you kind of just wait for some kind of catalyst or news thing to hit, and then you get some, an initial move, then some consolidation, then an extension, continuation. But like what we had today was just you can't trade that. Yeah, not much of a reaction. S&P trying to bounce a little bit. Still get 40 plus wide, 40 wide. Tesla coming down a little bit. For anyone new to the Mahomes trade, probably no chance of getting filled today. Too much movement, too much premium. Getting a little push. NASDAQ green again. S&P trying to get there. S&P just wants to finish unchanged. Just to fool the end of day market checkers. They definitely sucked some premium out quick when that MOC came out. Went from 40 wide to 15 wide in about 3 minutes. less than 3 minutes. Chop, chop, chop. Looks like it would have been a pretty good day to do some multi-tranching for the last couple hours as well. Not sure if anyone is braving that. That's you, Elliot. It's all you. 2 minutes. Yeah, I would love to see you guys' results. If you don't mind sharing in the 0 DTE chat after we get off here. I'd love to see or Chad's channel if you're doing TLC. I'd love to see kind of how everything went today. Good, bad, ugly. No judgment. Just curious. One minute. Still get 10 wide. $30 seconds to go. Very calm. Pretty calm power hour. Except for that one bar. Little gyration there about half hour ago. Nothing crazy, comparatively speaking. Ding, ding, ding. There it is. 5062.21. S&P futures only finished down 6 points. NASDAQ is green. No more markets in turmoil. Everything is back to normal, ladies and gentlemen. Chad will be streaming live at the open for day trading. We'll be back to Power Hour, same time, 2:15 Central tomorrow. Everybody have a good night. Rest up. Be ready for another fun day tomorrow. Cheers.